I'm ready.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. We're mind all over social media, Facebook, Blue Sky, and of course, our YouTube channel, Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe. All right, so we've been hearing a lot from Wendy Williams lately through a string of interviews, and she's not letting up. In fact, she's gearing up to return to national TV. The former daytime talk show legend is making her first national television appearance since her heartbreaking dementia diagnosis. But she won't be in true Wendy fashion with an in-person visit. Wendy will be joining the ladies of The View this Friday, March 14th, via phone interview. But here's where things are getting deeper. While fans are celebrating her return, there's drama unfolding behind the scenes. According to reports from TMZ, Wendy's guardianship is now under intense scrutiny. Word on the street is that New York authorities have launched not one but two separate investigations into how her guardianship has been handled. Sources say Wendy recently had a sit down with Adult Protective Services. And that's not all. APS also has been making calls to folks close to Wendy, trying to get a clearer picture on her current living conditions as an assisted living facility in New York where she stays. Allegedly, Wendy is being housed on the fifth floor of a memory unit, unable to leave without permission without an attendant. While some claim her health is on sharp decline, people in her circle are calling it cap. They insist that she's capable of doing regular, everyday things and that the situation ain't adding up. Now, this only fuels speculation about whether her guardianship is truly in her best interest or in something most sinister is at play. Now, one thing is clear, Wendy's comeback isn't just about TV ratings, it's about reclaiming her voice, her freedom, and her legacy. Even in the face of dementia, legal constraints, and public scrutiny, she's pushing forward. If there's one thing about Wendy, she's taught us it's that the spotlight may fade, but the star never does. And then today, she had to do a psych test as part of this investigation, and she passed it 10 out of 10. So she did very well with the psych exam she had to take today. Um, and there are a lot of people, her old producer, Suzanne from the Wendy Williams show, she released a video a few weeks ago saying that people had been asking her for years that she heard from Wendy. And she said she hadn't until the week prior. And she said they talked and she said Wendy sounded the best she's heard in a long time. And that, they cried, they talked, they reminisced. And then yesterday she posted a video of her prepping Wendy for the interview on The View. So, Linnea, what do you think it means now that she's passed this psych test, 10 out of 10? And do you think that she's gonna get out of this conservatorship?
I mean, who knows? Who is the guardian? Because it's not family.
No, it's not family. And that's what her family wants her to be, be with her, them.
And how did that person become guardian?
Through the bank. I think through the bank when they sued. Or the court maybe when the bank sued Wells Fargo.
These situations are always hard. Because Wendy, because of who she is, and there's a high probability that saying that she has dementia was a part of being able to maintain control. Um, I really don't know. Because she hasn't been in the limelight, for so long, and whatever that quick thing was with the
Breakfast Club.
not the Breakfast Club. What was it? Was it a documentary or something?
Oh, the documentary, yeah.
Where she was talking, it was like Black China was in it or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
With that, she didn't look too good, but I really don't know because it's such a weird situation, and it's like who who really has her back? Because I mean I don't know about her family either, especially with what she went through with that ex husband and
Hmm.
him wanting to get back into the marriage so he can get back into some money.
Right.
Like I really don't know. So it's I all I can do is just, send her my prayers, and I hope that, because Wendy, it's not like Wendy's old, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that if she's given the chance and she has the right people around her, then there's a chance. But if she doesn't have the right people, I don't see it.
Yeah, so her dementia is alcohol induced. And so you know, a lot of people said she's been sounding great lately because she doesn't have access to alcohol. But there was a situation around her when she was trying to go to Florida for her dad's birthday. Remember, it was all this back and forth. Apparently, she got caught with alcohol. And so that's why they were being so harsh on whether or not they're gonna let her go. I think that with her, again, like you said, she has to have the right people around her who's going to keep her sober and keep her, because if she's doing well in this facility, that doesn't mean she should stay there, but she should have the right people around her to keep her away from substances.
But does the facility also include AA?
I don't know. They're saying, yeah,
Like it, because in order, if she's an alcoholic, she need treatment for the alcoholism,
right,
and she's AA.
yeah.
So, but if you're not letting her go nowhere, then she's not getting any of that in your facility.
Hmm. Yeah. Brittany, what are your thoughts on this? And I wasn't sure what kind of interview it would be, but if it's a phone interview like she's been doing with TMZ, she did one with Breakfast Club. What are your thoughts on this?
Does she need the money?
She can't access any of her money.
So it's like, is that why she's doing this?
Well, I think she's just trying to get her life back because she has money, she just can't access it because the bank has.
So she's just trying to pursue her passion.
She's not allowed to touch anything.
I think she's trying to get her freedom back so she can have her money, she can have her lifestyle back.
She wants what Britney Spears got. Get me
Yeah.
off of this conservatorship or this guardianship.
But
Britney
what is
Spears
doing interviews and going back to being Wendy Williams have to do? Like, I don't understand, like, why come back to the public is my point.
I think she's using the public to try to help her be free. Like there's a campaign, Free Wendy, and you see some celebrities who have been in touch with her, Don Lemon, some others.
And they're trying to vouch for her to come back.
Yeah.
I just feel like that it's just too much. Like the limelight is too much for her right now. Like, especially if you're coming out of a facility. Like, truth be told, look at Britney. I'm sick of seeing Britney on social media. Like, she might need to go back into her conservatorship. Like, they should have locked her up. But I mean, like, there is something to be said with the limelight. Put these people in this position, like the being in the public eye, the scrutiny, all of this kind of drove Britney into that downfall. And then for them to come out and go straight back, I do think that that's a very fine line they playing with. I don't think that she should come out of her facility and go straight back into doing interviews and back on TV and doing all this other stuff. And I wonder why she can't go and just sit down and take care of her health.
Well, I think the difference between Brittany and Wendy is Brittany's conservator was her father. So she had family that was watching her, where Wendy has a stranger watching her and her family can't have access to her. Like at one point they couldn't even call her. She had to call them. They didn't know how to reach her. They didn't even know where she was. And
But can't you fight that instead of just coming back and doing interviews and stuff?
I don't know how she's gonna do that. I know with Britney Spears didn't want her dad at all.
Right.
So even then, that's why I said it has to be the right people, because Britney Spears went through it with her father. And I'm not sure of Amanda Bynes' situation, but she was in a conservatorship.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she's out of her.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I think she's using the interviews to kind of help tell her story to get help.
That and probably to show her cognitive
Right.
awareness too. Because
they were saying that she was bedridden and all these things, and then she did these interviews on Breakfast Club and TMZ, and they're like, she sounded like old Wendy. You know what I mean? So it was giving conflicting stories.
I understand that. I just think that, like,
I agree with you. She shouldn't come out and go right back to being Wendy Williams.
There should be some part, like, then conservatorships need to be looked at, because there should be some
Yeah.
part where you could redeem yourself and come back without having to put let me prove myself campaign out there. Like, I do think that there should be a let's test the water trial period of a conservatorship to see if somebody can handle it,
Mhm.
their freedom back.
Yeah. No, I agree. We'll see how this interview goes. And apparently, I don't know how true this was, because they were saying that she was taken to the hospital today, but they reported that she had tried to throw a letter out of her window of where she's staying that said "Help Wendy." But that was one story that was being told. But then now they're saying she went to the hospital for this physical test, I mean the psych test, to help towards her freedom, which she successfully passed. So it's a lot going on with this. We'll see what happens. Well, South Carolina has killed death row inmate Brad Sigmund, 67, in the first firing squad execution in the United States in 15 years. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, Sigmund's death marks the fourth firing squad execution in United States history since capital punishment was reinstated in 1976. The last firing squad execution here in the U.S. was in 2010. According to the South Carolina Department of Corrections, death row inmate Brad Sigmund chose the firing squad over the two state-approved methods of execution. They include the more common lethal injection and electric chair executions. During the press conference on Friday, officials said shots rang out at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. However, witnesses were unable to see the guns. A physician pronounced him dead at 6:08. Stegman, who became the oldest person executed in South Carolina, died in front of several witnesses, including his legal team and a few medical personnel. So one witness, Jeffrey Collins, a reporter for the Associated Press, recalled the incident. At the news conference, he said that Sigmund wore a black jumpsuit and was completely strapped into the chair. Collins said witnesses involuntarily flinched when the shooting began. He said that there was a small red stain appeared on his chest. One of Stegman's attorneys, Gerald Bo King, spoke after the execution. He said his client's death was horrifying and violent. He explained that he chose the firing squad knowing the three bullets would shatter his bones and destroy his heart, but was the only choice he had after the state's three executions of legal injection inflicted prolonged and potentially torturous deaths on men that he loved like brothers. So other men that were set to death row, they had malfunction. Also, I heard that he was interviewed and he said that he wanted this before he passed. He was interviewed and he said that he hopes this will help end the death penalty. And he said something about God. Um, but yeah, he said he wanted this, and they said you could. The officers, they're anonymous. They work at the jail, and they can volunteer to do this. But again, this has been done in 15 years. And apparently the shooters are covered up. I mean, so people can't see them. And again, they're anonymous. I mean, I know it's hard to choose how you want to go, but what are your thoughts, Linnea, on the firing squad execution?
I've never even heard of that being a real thing
Mm-hmm.
in this century, not century, but this millennium.
Right.
I I know that it happened, a long
Back in
time
the
ago.
yeah.
So the fact that that's even a choice signifies that America is even more loop de loop. Because I toe the line when it comes to the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because that's really playing God. That's really playing God.
Mm-hmm.
God and execution. Like that's really I told him like, but sir, it's some crimes I'll be like, oh yeah, you absolutely deserve it, but you need to suffer. And then there are others. It's like you can sit in jail for the rest of your life, get you a boyfriend,
Uh,
hang out for a little while. I don't know, but I think that that's weird. To even have oh, you're here. It's like a menu.
Right.
Have it your way.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I'm good.
And again, there are only a few states that allow this as an option, where the inmate can choose. Brittany, apparently, if I remember correctly, because they had this story on CBS Mornings last Friday, I think that after his girlfriend broke up with her, I want to say he killed her and then he killed both of her parents.
He killed her parents, and then he kidnapped her and held her at gunpoint, but she escaped.
She escaped. Okay, yeah. I knew it was something with the parent. Okay, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on his choice?
I mean, he went out in a bold way. I mean, like that's just crazy to me. Like, to choose that part, I don't think I would have been brave enough to choose that. Like, go ahead and give me the poison.
Yeah.
Like, that's really hard way to be like, yeah, I want you to shoot me to death.
I know.
The chair in the firing squad, like, yeah, I don't know if I could choose either one of those. That's a really hard way to pick.
Yeah, that's yeah. Oof.
And then I'm from the South too, so I'm from the South, so Texas will kill you for throwing your
They sure
trash
will.
outside. If you throw your trash out on the highway and litter, like you getting a death penalty in Texas, boo. Like they don't play. So
Texas
I'm
don't
not that shocked, but I am kind of like for you to choose that, you brave. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that.
Oof. Yeah, I can't imagine. All right, our last story. So, Love is Blind stars Sarah Carton and Ben Mazega, they have the internet buzzing after their shocking wedding episode dropped. Now, if you know the premise of Love is Blind, they have people, the guys on one side, girls on the other side, and they're in these pods, and they date each other through the pods, not knowing what each other looks like. And I don't think they're really supposed to talk about each other looks like, but they get to know each other through a course of some time, and then if the guy proposes to the woman, then they meet in person, and then everyone who got engaged, they go off to like in Mexico or an island for like a week, and then they spend time together, living each other for like a week, and then they get to the altar, they have like a whole wedding set up, and then they decide if they're going to say yes or no at the altar. No one knows until they get to the altar. Well, apparently Sarah and Ben, they seemed solid throughout the season 8 romance of Netflix dating series. Ultimately left the show single. They both left the show single. At the altar, Sarah turned down Ben's proposal, saying that she always dreamed of a partner on the same wavelength as her. Afterwards, she was speaking to her mother and sister. Sarah admitted that Ben's apathy towards social issues such as Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ plus rights disappointed her. So pretty much this took place in Minneapolis, and this, as you know, this is where George Floyd was murdered, and that's what sparked the global BLM movement. And so when she asked him about that, these are both two white couples. She asked him about it. He didn't have an opinion on Black Lives Matter. Said he didn't know much about it, and then he didn't have much opinion on LGBTQ plus rights. And so, and then she also revealed that they didn't see eye to eye on vaccinations. So I was reading the comments, and most people say that if a person doesn't align with your values, you shouldn't marry them. Brittany, do you think she made the right decision, or do you think they could have got past that?
I think she made the right. If you can't align with my values, I can't marry you. I think she made the right decision. I didn't see. I'm still like in the beginning parts of it. I do love this show. I've seen every other season. It's one of my this and Married at First Sight are one of my favorite shows. But they've been disappointing me. I'm not gonna lie. Love is Blind had one like it seemed like after season 6, like they've been disappointing me with their casting. I like they haven't really had too many couples make it. Like one man had 3 kids and he lied about it and married a
Yeah,
girl.
they got
Then
married though,
another
didn't
they divorced now.
Oh yeah, I heard they got divorced. Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like I've been so disappointed with this casting. I don't know if it's the casting or if the couples aren't choosing correctly. Because even the season before that, the guy was still messaging women on dating apps. Like,
Yeah.
he was crazy. He had one of them had a whole girlfriend at home and was just doing the show. And I'm just like, so either they picking the wrong people or the casting is terrible. I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of disappointed. Even Married at First Sight has kind of been disappointing. The
Yeah.
couple slept with each other on Married at First Sight. I was like, oh my gosh, like they cheated behind the other people's back. So maybe that's like a foretell of like relationship. People just a mess nowadays. Lord jeez.
Well, a lot of people in Linear, because a lot of people they want to get noticed so they can, advance their careers in acting or entertainment, and so they come on these shows not really interested in the premise, but more interested in being known and getting a following. But Linear, do you think that
It's real, Steven. It is real. They don't say they
No,
don't
no,
crush.
some people. I'm not. There's some people that come on here wanting to get married, meet their partner, but some people come on here for other reasons. But Linnea, do you think that she made the right decision by not moving forward with him because his social views?
I don't know these people. You know, I don't watch
Not,
reality, so it's not my thing.
yeah,
Um, I first of all, I ain't doing nothing blind
right.
in that
That's what I said.
aspect. So you ain't got to worry about me signing up for nothing.
Lania, you wouldn't get married at first sight? Like married at the altar. Steven, would you?
No,
Nah.
I need to see you.
I've been with my dude for 8 years. I've been with my
What
dude
is
for 8 years. Like, listen, let me tell you something. Listen, I love him to death. We not there yet. Like that's like, and you said something. People nowadays do not take relationships seriously.
Mhm.
They don't value connection. They don't value relationship. Which is crazy because what's the purpose of dating someone if you're not dating with intention? Now, if you just want to date to be dating and you don't want to get married, you want to have fun, then set those standards
Right.
in the beginning. But if I'm dating with intention, then that means we're dating and we're building, but that's not everybody. And people have to learn discernment. Not every guy that I dated was marriage material. Not every guy I dated, I said, I want this to be my husband. Are you crazy? If I did that, oh my God. But the person that I'm with now, that's who I want to spend my life with.
Right.
I see him as my husband, but we don't have to rush in order to satisfy anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, but to do it blindly,
Yeah.
like I ain't touched you. We ain't gotta have relations. Because I think, if we went back to not having relations before marriage, oh, we might be in a better space. But
Oh, I gotta test drive the car before I buy it. Before I take that car off the lot and it depreciate value, I gotta drive the car, baby. I can't do it. No.
But I think the premise of the show, I think they had the right idea of trying to see if you can connect with someone without knowing what they look like.
another
And
level.
it sounds good, but it's almost like when when you've been chatting with someone that you've never met and you build these emotions and then you get around each other in person and it's just something that it does change. It can change. So you're almost having to re get to know someone else from a physical aspect, putting together what you've learned mentally as with the physical. I think there can be a disconnect sometimes. You know what I mean?
And it's so funny you said that. It's almost like they're proving their experiment doesn't work.
Right. That's what I
Because
think.
they're saying like the love is blind part, you're supposed to connect spiritually and through these
Right.
mentally, right? But they're having couples not connect, and then when they have a disconnect, they're like you talk between a door. Like they try to make them go back to that same how they met. Like so in one season, they made one couple go in the bedroom, or the girl go in the bedroom and the guy stay in the living room
Oh
and
yeah.
talk through a wall to try to get them back on the same page. But it's like you shouldn't have
I
to.
know what you look like at
Cause
this point. Yeah, it's different.
yeah,
That's
like
not
she had
blind.
kind of lost it. She kind of lost
But that
the
means
eagerness of it.
so then that means we all have, we all know what we're attracted to, right?
Right. Yeah.
And when you take a chance like that and you don't know what's on the other side, because somebody can sound amazing, but then you see them and then it's like, I'm not really attracted to you. What do you do with that?
Right. And
Because
there's
attraction is
been
important.
so many couples who when they first see the person they say, well, that's not necessarily my type, but I'm gonna go with the process. And then and a lot of times it doesn't work out because like that just was not my type. I
It's
tried. Like,
forced.
yeah, it's forced.
Forced. Like I wasn't the chick everybody was rooting for AD. Didn't she like
AD.
who did her dirty?
Yeah.
And like what you mentioned earlier, he was like one of us that just wanted attention. You just wasted her time.
Waste of time.
She was a beautiful girl.
He
You
didn't
know what I
like
mean?
her.
But you
He
just
wasn't attracted to her.
Well, guess what?
he liked he liked the other.
So they had the reunion. I guess the reunion aired on Netflix, and AD got engaged to another castmate named
I heard that.
Ollie. So they're engaged now.
I heard
Oh
that.
yeah, I did hear that. I would do the Ready to Love on with
I haven't seen
Tommy.
that, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh baby, that show good. I would do
They
that
were in
one.
Philly.
I
That was
wouldn't. They were in Philly.
This season that's on
It's
now
some
was in
good
Philly.
looking men in Philly, Lania. I'm gonna have to come visit you. Like that's, I would do that show, but I don't think that. No, I don't think I'm made for TV.
You'd be
I
hilarious.
Child,
think I'm.
half them people that be on it ain't made for it. So I don't know what
Right.
you ain't made for.
I got too much morals to myself. I don't think I'm made for TV. I mean, I tell me you gonna send my man with her.
Brittany be done splashed from by.
All right.
I know. Once I
Got a
like you, you
connection. Next
mine.
thing you know, she see another chick with her connection.
Oh no, baby. Oh no, you gonna have to answer for that.
Security.
Listen, y'all, thank you so much for Hot Topics. Linnea, continued success with school. Can't wait till you come back. And we'll be right back after this.